All right, what is going on, everyone? We are back. Season 5, episode 28. This is the big one. We got the Super Bowl out of the way already. Football season's wrapped up. This is the one that we've been looking forward to for the past couple of weeks. Leading up to it, we had conference tournaments last week. We had a great conference championship Saturday and Sunday. We're getting right into it. We have our bracket. Me and Mackie are here to break it down. No Ace, no Jesse. Going to be all college basketball today. We'll touch on USA baseball at the end if we want to rant on that. That wasn't much to talk about there, but we got a March Madness bracket. Mackie, tournament starts tomorrow at noon. How are we feeling?
Oh, come on, Hoff. We know we've been sitting around waiting for this for how long now? My favorite time of the year. I don't know about you, but better than Super Bowl, better than NBA, NHL playoffs. This is my favorite time of the year. So, yeah, looking forward to just sitting in front of my TV for the next 4 days.
Is this a hot take? I was thinking about this the other day. I enjoy the conference tournaments more than the first weekend of March Madness just because it's Alabama versus Hofstra. I'd rather watch Alabama versus Tennessee.
I have said this so many times that the week before March Madness starts
is better basketball.
Almost better. I almost enjoy it more. There's just as many games. You're getting in-conference games, so you feel more comfortable betting on.
The storylines are through the roof.
Even if it's like 11-12, like Pitt, Stanford, I have more fun betting on that than Bama, Hofstra. In my opinion.
Or Arkansas, Hawaii.
We're already. I mean, we're a week in, and we've already had some of the best basketball. Obviously, March Madness brings a little more enjoyment to it, but I'm on the same page. I've said that for a while too.
Yeah, I didn't think you would think that was a hot take, but yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest.
It's a hot take for a casual.
Yeah, I agree. Because most people are like, "What do you mean? You watch college basketball before March Madness?"
Yeah, they don't even know what's going on before it.
But yeah, we'll get right into it.
You get games at 12 o'clock and everything. Sorry, I just had to keep going.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's the best. That's what I love. Is I was telling I forget I was telling this to at work that tomorrow is the first Thursday and Friday of March Madness that I will actually be at work, not just sitting around watching college basketball, because for some reason I thought I had this day off scheduled off a while ago, forgot about it, didn't have it off, so I will be working the next Fridays. I get done at noon, so Fridays doesn't even matter, but tomorrow
I'd rather work Christmas.
Yeah, I'm going to be hurting tomorrow afternoon when I'm sitting at work staring at my phone all day, but yeah, we'll get right into it. We've had some of these first 4 games already get underway, 3 of them over when we're recording this. Obviously, SMU and Miami underway now, the last game in Dayton. So we have the March Madness tournament underway, like I said, with those first 4 games. Howard taking down UMBC, Texas beating NC State last night in a buzzer beat, or not a buzzer beater, but 2 seconds left. Prairie View getting a dub today over Lehigh to go on and take on Florida as that 16th seed. And then, like I said, Miami of Ohio and SMU underway right now. SMU was a 7-point favorite when that closed, 7.5, somewhere around there. But yeah, we'll get right into it. Round of 64 starting, obviously Thursday and Friday. Round of 32 this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, then we go 16 or Sweet 16, Elite 8, and so on and so on. We do have a couple fun March Madness betting trends that we can get into here before we start giving out some picks and things like that. So in 12 of the last 14 tournaments, a team from the first 4 has gone on to reach the round of 32. So they not only win that playing game, they usually win their Thursday or Friday game, get into the second round or the first weekend. And over the past 17 tournaments, a number 1 through 4 seed has been knocked out in the opening round 15 out of 17 times. I'm like, we were talking about this before we get on with this NIL era and things like that. I'm having a very hard time finding the 15 over a 2 or the 14 over a 3. I just don't see many spots for it this year. But we'll get into that in a little bit. And last year marked only the second time in the past 15 tournaments that all 4 number 1 seeds advanced to the Elite 8, kind of going with what I just said about finding it very hard to knock these good teams out early. But early tournament for the past 17, or every tournament for the past 17 years, and 38 of the last 40 has featured at least one double-digit seed reaching the Sweet 16. And now that we've gone over our schedule, it's time to get into our bracket. Obviously, round of 64 getting underway today, Thursday when you're listening to this. Fridays, we wrap things up for round 1. But, Mackie, let's take a look at our round of 64. Do you have your bracket in front of you? Do we want to go pick for pick, game for game, reasoning? How do we want to divide this up?
Yeah,
Let's
we
go region
can.
by region, obviously.
Yeah, let's go region by region. We don't need to dive into like this. I don't. The 116s. What did Penguins just lose? Did the
Yeah,
Penguins just lose?
overtime.
we don't need
Yeah.
to. We don't need to go into the 116s. I don't think either of us have a 1 or 60 or a 1 or 2 seed losing. But
I don't have a 1 through 3 seed losing in the first round.
yeah, we can.
So we
So
skip right over all those games.
Duke, Siena, obviously Duke. First big one, Ohio State, TCU. I lean. Dude, I switch back and forth in this one
I've
so
gone
many
back and
times.
forth on this one so many
I
times. I have Ohio State written on my bracket just because
right now, right now, I have Ohio State written on my bracket. By 12 o'clock tomorrow, I might have TCU.
yeah. I mean, it's a 2.5 point spread. It's the first game of the tournament. That's obviously the one that, most people are going to have their eyes on to start things out, with it being the first game and 8 versus 9. And I've clicked OSU, TCU, OSU. I've gone back and forth. That's why I had to handwrite it, finalize everything. I'm going with the Buckeyes in that one. I mean, those 8-9 ones are so, toss ups, but Bruce Thornton for OSU, I think, will be able to get it done. I like Jamie Dixon in that Horned Frog team coming out of the Big 12, a tougher, I guess, path to get to where they're at. OSU in an easy Big 10, but any team in the Big 12, I think, is that puts up 20 wins and what were they, 22 and 11 ish, somewhere around there for
Yeah,
TCU. But
TCU was 22 and
they're
11. Yeah,
definitely a good team. I just think I got OSU pulling this one out.
yeah. I mean, Bruce Thornton, obviously that veteran leadership that he has, he doesn't want to go home. I think it's his 5th year, honestly. So he's playing for a lot. He's a household name. But David Punch on the other side, I think TCU is they're gonna control the boards. I think it's gonna come down to offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities for TCU. If they can convert, it's gonna be hard to stop. It's hard to stop a team for 50 seconds in a row. Those 30-second shot clocks where you get an offensive rebound and the shot clock resets to 20, very hard to stop twice in a row. So I think it's gonna come down to if they are able to convert on their second chance opportunities. But like I said, Bruce Thornton on the other side, Ohio State's been playing really good basketball as well. So they took Michigan down to the wire. They had a big second round matchup in the Big
I
Ten.
forgot about that game versus Michigan. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
I mean it's also a rivalry, but
Yeah,
they
yeah, it
looked
doesn't
great.
matter.
They looked great, but I lean Ohio State at the moment. Ask me again tomorrow, and I might switch it.
Yeah, next game obviously, or the tier down, we get St. John's, Northern Iowa. I have St. John's taking on Kansas in that round of 32.
Listen, Johnny's lose this one, and we can just throw everything out the window. This should be a cakewalk for them. Small
What's the
spread
spread on
though.
this one? I didn't even look at
Head
the
and a
spread.
half.
Yeah, that's weird.
That means 5-12.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to overthink it. I think Patino's got something going with that St. John's team. You could say lucked out with a UConn loss. They're late in the season to get the regular season championship. They whooped UConn in that Big East final whatever conference tournament final. Yeah, I got St. John's taking on Kansas in the second round. I think Kansas is one of the better teams when Darren Peterson's on the floor at 100% and actually cares. Those are two huge ifs, though. I feel like we could get to some point in this tournament and he's just like, yeah.
I kind of disagree on that point because I think that all of his not caring is out the window. I mean, at this point, you're playing for it all. I mean, I know his head's not fully in college basketball. He's just looking ahead. But, I mean, if you're going to care at any point, I think it's now. And even if he doesn't, they have the supporting cast. And I think his name's Marvin Council. I could be wrong with the first name. But Council, when Peterson's been out, that's been his team. They have the big men down low. They have Badunga. They have Bryson Tiller. There's not a lot of
Badunga's the guy I was thinking of. I can never remember his name.
Who?
Badunga. That's a fun one to say.
Yeah, they have the big men down low, and they have the guard play. So I mean, when it comes down to it, this team could probably hang with anyone. It just comes down to obviously that star player in Peterson, and if the big men are playing how they should be.
Yeah. We move one down. Obviously, we get our first 11-6, Louisville versus South Florida. I think this is a popular one. I do have at USF. Who's the guard for Louisville that's going to be out?
Mikel Brown, he's out.
Yeah, that's huge. I liked it before that, and then that kind of just solidified it.
Me too. I think it's a 4.5-point spread here, but UCF
It
or
dropped.
USF.
It opened it, I think. It opened at 6.5 or 7, and
Yeah.
then he got ruled out, and it went straight to
4.5.
4.5.
Your best player is ruled out, and the line drops. But
I'm kind of surprised it was only a 2.5-point movement, though.
Yeah,
Still,
but
power 4 versus non-power 4. You know what I mean?
But USF rolled in the AAC this year. They were the clear top team. I think they have a pretty good roster. Louisville didn't love them all year. You know, you take your best player out. Obviously, it's a game changer right there. I do lean on. I have USF advancing in this region.
Yeah. One down, Michigan State, North Dakota State. January Izzo, March or January, February
February Izzo,
Izzo. Did
John
a little
Rothstein.
backwards there, but I have Michigan State here. I think they're geared up for a run. Obviously, they got disappointed in that Big Ten tournament. I think they're geared up for a deep run. You could say I have them in the second weekend just to allude to some of these future picks. But I have MSU beating USF in that round of 32 game to get to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, this is where we're gonna disagree for the first time here. I do have them winning this game, but don't love this Michigan State team. I don't love Jeremy Fears and his attitude. It's hard when you're betting against Tom Izzo, but I'm not very high on this Michigan State team. I think they win this game. This is the 1-3 seed that I wouldn't be shocked if they lost. I would be surprised, but I could see it happening. Um, but I mean, I have them winning in the round of 64 in my bracket.
Yeah. UCLA, UCF. Who you got?
I like UCLA. I like Donovan Dent. I think he gets the job done. UCF, very bad end of the season. They played in obviously a tough conference, but I think they were 9-5 at one point in conference play. They ended 9-9, lost in their first conference tournament game. So, the wheels aren't rolling for them. I'm going to go to UCLA here.
Yeah, me too. I think all the negative energy around that UCLA team throughout the season, they showed some fight in that Big Ten tournament. I think they're getting hot at the right time. They do have a raw. They're one of the better teams, not better teams in the Big Ten, but one of them saying from those teams that came over from the Pac-12. Cronin has had that UCLA team competing in the Big Ten since they've gotten here. They're really the only one that has. I think they get a first round win. I like this team coming into March. This is one of the 7 seeds I have a keep my eyes on type of
You almost
feel.
want to root against Cronin, honestly. I'm not a fan of the guy, but he knows how to keep his team in the media.
Yeah, yeah. And the next one, we both got UConn.
Yeah. Come on. Furman was like a
So,
7
all
seed in
right,
their
now that
conference.
now we're I was gonna say we're split on a couple of these. So UCLA, UConn. I do have UCLA moving on. I had to find a way to get UConn out of things. I like this UCLA team. I think if they win their first game, I'm not saying it's a huge win. What is that over UCF to 7-10? Not a huge win. They'll probably be a couple point favorite. I haven't looked at many of these lines yet, but I'm gonna have UCLA taking down UConn. I don't love this UConn team. They've shown they're beatable at certain times. They usually, like I've heard you say this, that they usually beat themselves when they lose. I just feel something about this UCLA team. I think UConn could go out by the end of this weekend.
Yeah, I did have UCLA winning this game. I ended up changing it. I do say it all the time. UConn, only team that really can beat UConn until they're playing like one of the top 4 teams is themselves. Because they have so much star power. You still have Carib in there, the veteran. You have Solo Ball running the point. You have Silas Damari. This team has a lot of players that can get the job done. But then you watch them in games like against St. John's in that conference tournament championship where they looked like they couldn't do anything. So definitely a beatable team. I've gone back and forth on this, but I do have UConn winning at the moment.
So we had all the same advancing out of the East region for the round of 64. So we'll move to 32, stay in that region. Duke OSU.
I do have Duke. I don't think OSU can compete.
Yeah. I'm same thing here. St. John's, Kansas.
At the moment, I have Kansas.
I have St. John's. I
I
think
think Kansas can make a run, like I said.
I agree. I think that's a terrible matchup for a 5 seed St. John's team. The way they got rewarded for winning their regular season conference title, whatever conference tournament. I keep trying to or can't remember what the fuck I'm trying to say here, but I think the way they got kind of seeded here was a little bit slighted for this St. John's team getting a four seed Kansas team. Bill Self, Darren Peterson, all the guys you just said. I'm going to have St. John's moving on here. I feel something about Patino misled St. John's team that I think they get past Kansas in the second round.
They told St. John's, "Congratulations, you win the Big East. You get a decent Northern Iowa team in the first round. Then you got to play the best player in the country. And then you get to play Cameron Boozer and Duke." So the worst region, worst seed they
And
could
then
possibly get.
and then if it works out the way it sounds like you have it, they could get
They're
UConn in the
You
Elite
get a
Eight.
fourth team, a fourth or a fourth game rematch with
Yeah,
UConn.
yeah.
Ridiculous.
So I have St. John's, you have Kansas, USF, MSU, Michigan State. I have Michigan State. I believe you said you have USF right now.
I do have USF, and I think I'm gonna hold on that. I
You
like
gotta
that
get a.
USF
I
team.
understand. You gotta get one of those 11 seeds in. That's
This
that's
USF team
usually a
reminds
trend that
me. Now, I wouldn't say as deep of a run they're gonna make, but it reminds me of the FAU team
I was gonna
that
say the Florida
went to the
Atlantic.
Final Four.
UCLA, UConn. I have UCLA. You said UConn. So I'll go through my Sweet 16. We'll stick in this bracket. Duke versus St. John's. I have St. John's taking down Duke. I just all this Duke. Everyone's saying it. They're not. I just don't see them get there. They're obviously the best, quote unquote, best team in the country. They're one of the one seeds. Are they the overall one seed?
Duke is, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember if it was Duke or Michigan for some reason, but or Duke or Arizona for some reason. But Duke gets it. I have St. John's moving on to the Elite Eight. Michigan State over UCLA in a rematch. They've seen each other a couple of times this year. I think Izzo gets will best Cronin in that matchup. St. John's versus Michigan State, and I have St. John's going to their Final Four, led by Patino. Will get another team, another program to a Final Four.
Patino versus Izzo in an Elite Eight matchup would be electric.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Got some big dogs to go through before that, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. So I have Sweet 16. I have Kansas beating Duke. We both have Duke out in the Sweet 16, which is definitely not a popular
I could
pick
see
there.
happen. Yeah, I definitely could see happen.
I got UConn over South Florida.
It's a gauntlet for them too. I don't want to keep cutting you off. It's a gauntlet for
You're
them
good.
too. You know what I mean? I don't care if they're the best team in the
Yeah.
country. It's you know what I mean?
They drew the short straw for sure in the
It's a good, in my opinion. This is just how I do brackets. That's a good one seed to try to knock out early, because even if they get past that and get to the, say, Elite Eight, like they're going to have another hard game in the Elite Eight that they could lose and not get to the Final Four. You know what I mean? Duke's the 1-1 seed in this tournament, where if you have them in the Final Four, you're picking them to win 4 very hard games, and they could very easily lose to St. John's, Kansas in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, and we're not sitting here saying that Duke is
bad.
Yeah, or
that's just how I make brackets. That's just how I do it.
They're definitely a national championship winning team if everything goes the right way. They just have a gauntlet to get through, and with so many opportunities to lose games, it's hard to take them.
Yeah.
So I took Kansas over Duke, UConn over South Florida, and then I have Kansas in my Elite Four or Final Four.
Kansas, Bill Self,
because they could definitely be a second round exit, but I do have them in my Final Four right now.
That's interesting. We both have the St. John's, Kansas getting to the Final Four.
Exactly. Somebody, one of our brackets are screwed by
Final Four by the end of Sunday.
All right, want to get into the South?
Yeah, let's go down. You start us out.
All right, Florida over Prairie View.
Yeah,
Prairie View, big win today over Lehigh, by the way.
Yeah.
I have Clemson over Iowa.
I did too.
Okay, don't really need to get into that. Vandy over McNeese.
Yep.
I got Troy over Nebraska. Let's hear it, Huff.
I have Nebraska. I'm gonna give Nebraska their first tournament win in program history here. I've seen the Troy hype. They seem like a really fun team. This is the 1-4 seed I'm very worried about, because all the narrative they haven't won in the tournament. How hot this team started. But they're veteran led. I think they're able to get a win in this spot.
I mean, it's definitely. I think they're 13.5-point underdogs here, but
yeah.
I just think Nebraska. They started 22-0 or something, and they just have not looked the same. They
got up to what? What seed did they get up to?
I want to say 9. I think they were higher. I think the 6. I think the 6. Yeah. Here's a big one.
I bet them they played Purdue, and that was the last time I bet on Nebraska.
Here's a big one. No Caleb Wilson. You got VCU, North Carolina.
I got North Carolina, actually.
I have VCU here. I think
I saw sharp money on North Carolina. That made my decision there.
Dude, I mean, VCU's not coming out of a bad conference either, and no Caleb Wilson.
I know. It's more just like that's a hot dog pick. I'm like, what'd you say?
2.5 point spread.
2.5. Yeah. I saw it. UNC's a favorite, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I went with the Tar Heels I'm sticking with the blue blood that they'll be able to pull something out here.
Yeah, that should be a good one though, for sure. Illinois over Penn.
Yep.
I have St. Mary's over Texas A&M. You like
And then
it?
Houston. Yeah, I have St.
Okay.
Mary's in Houston. So we'll move into Sweet 16, going to the Sweet 16, or round of 32, go to the Sweet 16. Houston, St. Mary's, I have Houston.
Correct.
You're correct. I have UNC, Illinois, but I have Illinois winning. I
Correct.
assume you do the same thing. Yeah.
Correct. You know how I feel about Illinois.
I have Vandy, Nebraska, but I have Vandy winning.
I have Vandy beating Troy,
Florida, Clemson, Florida.
Florida. We
So
got
we
the
get the
Final
Florida
Four.
Vandy rematch.
We got the same Final
We're
Four in
we're
this
very
region.
similar, other than the Kansas St. John's one. We just went
Yeah.
opposite ways on that one. We were
I
like,
mean,
that team
it's
is going to
so,
the Final Four.
and you would think I'd be the
um,
one on St. John's.
yeah. Florida Vandy. Florida getting their lick back on them from the SEC tournament.
I got Vandy. I got
All
him.
right, we
I
differ a
got
little
him.
bit. That's fine.
I like
I
Duke Miles. I like that Tyler Tanner guy. I think they have all the star power in
Yeah,
on the guard play.
I have Florida getting their lick back there. And then Illinois Houston. I have Houston.
I do have Houston, but this is gonna be a
Okay.
hell of a game. If Illinois puts it
Illinois
all
Houston. I
together,
like Illinois. Who's the kid from Cal that I can never pronounce his name?
You can't pronounce
Stojakovic.
Stojakovic. His dad
I
is
can
like
never
a
remember his name.
his dad is
I can never
Just
remember his
shouted
name.
him
I should
out.
say that. But
Andrei
yeah, I don't.
Stojakovic.
I
But they
like I
also have
like
like
this Illinois team. Go
that
ahead.
Keaton Wagler freshman. He's a beast too, and they have all those Euros that shoot the lights out of the ball, which goes against exactly how Houston plays. So, I mean, if they're gonna whoever style they
Houston's
play to,
offense is a lot better this year than in the past.
yeah, but they're still a defensive minded team.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I
I
think
mean,
that's just Calvin Sampson.
however they play, whoever's game they play to is gonna win this game. I just think Houston slows the game down and does what they need to do.
Yeah. So I have Florida, Houston in the Elite Eight, with Houston going to the Final Four.
Yeah, I have Houston beating Vandy. Vandy's run ends.
So you have Houston in the Final Four.
Correct.
Okay. We move over to the West. I believe we're both going to have Arizona as the one seed
Fins
over Long
up.
Island. Yeah, I was going to say, are you going to do fins up, or are you going to take Arizona? I think Arizona gets out
I
of
got
that
Arizona.
one. In a tough matchup.
It's tough.
But 8 versus 9, Villanova, Utah State. I have Utah State. They seem like they got something going
I'm
on
with
over
you.
there in Utah State.
I'm with you. I'm not a big Nova guy. I'm not. I think
Yeah,
they
I'm
have.
not either. If we're in agreement, we'll keep rolling here. Wisconsin over High Point, Arkansas over Hawaii.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a round of 32.
I can't wait for Wisconsin versus Arkansas. It's going to be an awesome game. I have BYU taking down Texas and Gonzaga taking down Kennesaw State for a BYU Gonzaga matchup in the round of 32.
I do have Texas winning.
Okay. You
It's gonna.
did say you think whatever team comes out of there could beat that or
Yeah.
beat BYU. I'm relying on DeBansa and Robert Wright to just have
It's
big
gonna
games
come down to if
BYU.
Debanza can drop 35 points.
Yeah. Well, and even like some of the other games, like when I watched WVU play BYU, it was like Robert Wright put up like 20 points, and everyone's so worried about DeBansa. DeBansa still has 20, but the second guy has 20. It's like you're not going to beat
Right,
them if
but
two guys have 20
you watch that game?
against WVU.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was just. I mean, Robert Wright did his thing, but it was just a Debanza show, and like we genuinely just
Yeah.
could not stop him. So
Yeah.
I mean, it comes if he's not going off, Robert Wright's not going to be able to do enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I have BYU, Gonzaga, and then I have Mizzou taking down Miami. Are you on the U?
You know how I feel about the U, Huff. It's
I've
all
been on.
about the U.
I've bet
I,
this Missouri team a couple times this year, so I like this Missouri team coming out of the SEC. They had a good season. They've had some close games. This is one that I could see go either way. I'm going to go with Mizzou taking on Purdue in that round of 32.
I have Miami Purdue. That's going to be a good game though. Missouri just doesn't win those games to me. They lose all those big games. They had one against Arkansas late in the season. Um, might have been a tournament or it was late in the season. Regardless, Arkansas won. No, because it was in Missouri, and Arkansas still came out on top. It was just one of those games. I think Miami wins a close battle.
Mm-hmm. All right, I have Arizona over Utah State.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas over Wisconsin.
I have Wisconsin right now. I'll probably end up changing that, but dude,
Um,
What a
Wisconsin's
game.
good. That
Their
matchup right
guard
there is kind of
play.
like the St. John's Kansas one.
Wisconsin might have the best guard play in the country with Nick
Yeah,
Boyd and
yeah.
Jordan Blackwell.
But that's what I'm saying is that matchup right there is exactly like St. John's, Kansas. I could see whoever comes out of that take down the 1 seed the next round, and then all of a sudden they're going to be in the Elite Eight / Final Four.
Yeah, the 4-5s are good.
Well, there's another team in this region that I almost picked to go to the Final Four / even go to the national championship. I'm big on them for some reason. But we'll move down. I have BYU taking down Gonzaga. I have BYU in the Sweet 16. I think the the lights are going to be bright. I think we're going to see it from this BYU led freshman led team. They obviously have Robert Wright, like we just talked about, but the Bance, I feel like we always see someone like that put on a show. One of the guys that are supposed to, not just one of these guys you never heard of, puts up 20 points and from three. So give me BYU over Gonzaga, and then I'm going to take Purdue over Mizzou.
I have Texas over Gonzaga, and I have the U over Purdue. Give me Purdue out in the first weekend. Classic.
Purdue's the one. Purdue's the one that I'm sitting here right now. So I have BYU versus Purdue. I have Purdue in the Elite Eight. Arkansas, Arizona. I have Arkansas taking on Purdue in the Elite Eight. Arkansas advancing. It killed. I'm big on this Purdue team. I don't know why. I love Oscar Clough. I love Braden Smith. I love Matt Painter. I like this Purdue team. I definitely think they will make a run. I think they at least get to the Elite Eight. I think they could beat Arkansas to go to the Final Four.
Yeah, I just think, coming off a huge Big Ten tournament, obviously they ended up on top of that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But there's so much money coming in on them now. Everyone's so high on them. I just think that they're gonna fall off a bridge. We've seen it too many times with this team this year, where they just lose games that they should win. They have the star power. They have Kaufman Run. They have what's that guy's name? Clough. He's huge.
Oscar Clough.
He's huge. He's a
Yeah,
dog.
he's
And
good.
Braden Smith,
He's good
obviously,
too.
but
He gives them 10 and 10 every game.
we've seen it too many times with this team. Braden Smith and Kaufman Run. I just don't see it happening. I think they're out.
That's.
So
I
I
didn't see that one
have
coming for you.
I
So
have
go on.
Texas.
Go. Give me the rest of yours.
Texas over Gonzaga, Miami over Purdue. So I have 11 versus 7 in the Sweet 16 right here.
We have a totally different matchup there. I have 2 versus 6. You have 11 versus 7.
And I do have Miami down to the Elite Eight. So I have a team in the Elite Eight that you have out in the first round, which right now that may switch as well. I just can't find a team to come out of that region right there. So then I have Arizona, Miami. I obviously have Arizona winning that. Miami's run comes to an end.
So you have Arizona in the Final Four out of that region.
Yes.
Okay. We'll move
right
down.
now,
So my Final Four right now is St. John's versus Houston, and then Arkansas versus the winner of the Midwest that we'll get to now.
Right. I have Houston versus Kansas, Arizona versus who we're going to get into.
Okay. All right. Michigan. I have St. Louis over Georgia. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I got Georgia.
Okay. I've flipped on that one a million times.
Yeah, it's right. It's back and forth.
Texas Tech, Alabama. I have in that. I've wanted to pick Texas Tech out. I've wanted to pick Alabama out. I can't. I just did both of them.
Both losable games, in my opinion. I do have Akron over Texas Tech, but I have Alabama over Hofstra right now.
See, mine was kind of the other way around. So I think Alabama's is more of a like Hofstra is going to be able to, if anything, be in that game. Akron's good.
I don't think Aiden
But here's my
Holloway
logic.
is going to.
So I picked Texas Tech over Bama because if Bama loses, I'm like, I don't want to be fucked and have them in the Sweet 16 Elite. You know what I mean? Have them going for.
I just don't think that
I think
Aiden
either
Holloway.
one of those teams doesn't get to the. I think as soon as they get to the Sweet 16, they lose to Michigan.
Dude, I don't know. I think Alabama can beat Michigan, and I think I have Michigan winning right now. But I've gone back and forth on that as well. We'll get into it.
Yeah. So Tennessee, I have Tennessee over SMU / Miami. That game's still going on right now. I have UVA over Wright State, Santa Clara over Kentucky, and Iowa State over Tennessee State.
Yeah, you voiced your opinion about Kentucky. I think that's going to be a really good game. I like Santa Clara. They've hung well with Gonzaga and St. Mary's this year, but I do think Kentucky, and I don't even know what his first name is, but Owe, he's just going to be too much for Santa Clara, I think.
Yeah.
Otega, Owe.
Second round, I have Michigan taking on. Yeah, I have Michigan taking on St. Louis. Michigan moving on to the Sweet 16. Texas Tech, Alabama. I do have Texas Tech advancing there to take on Michigan.
Pass the language of
Tennessee
kings and
taking down
conquerors.
Virginia. This is where I wanted to get Virginia out of it. I like Tennessee. I don't love Tennessee, but I like this matchup. Give me Tennessee to move on to the Sweet 16. And then I have Iowa State in the Sweet 16 taking on Tennessee.
Yeah, I have Michigan. I have Bama beating Akron, and then I do have Tennessee and Iowa State as well.
Okay. And then my Elite Eight out of the Midwest is Michigan versus Iowa State. I have Michigan to the Final Four. It killed me to knock Iowa State out. I wanted to I still might put a future on Iowa State. I don't know why. I feel good about Iowa State. I feel good about Purdue, and I feel good about Houston.
I do have Michigan versus Iowa State, and I have Iowa State beating Michigan, which could be tough.
I've gone back and forth on that one a lot. The reason I did it is I didn't want to have the theory of all the 2 seeds. You know what I mean? I know I have St. John's, Arkansas, but this is whenever I was looking at. I had Purdue coming out of the West. I had Iowa State coming out of the Midwest and Houston coming out of the South. I was like, I got to knock one of these 2 seeds, and I just ended up knocking both of them. I took Arkansas in the West. I took Michigan in the Midwest. I have Michigan taking down Arkansas to go to the national title for a Houston versus Michigan 1 versus 2 seed. I have the Houston Cougars cutting down the Nets. I don't know what their odds are. We can look at that in a minute. But I have the Houston Cougars cutting down the Nets, getting their revenge from 2025.
Yeah, I also have Houston advancing. I have Houston in the national championship for back-to-back years. I have them playing. I have Arizona beating Iowa State. So we have Houston, Arizona, and I think the best team in the country is going to win it. I have Arizona winning it. I think Houston's heart gets broken twice, 2 years in a row.
Wow. Arizona's finally going to get to not only to the Sweet 16, but cut it down.
The NIL year, man, and you know what? They have a James on their team, so they have it in their DNA. Listen, I've said it about UConn. What?
I was gonna say you had to say on their team, not gets playing time.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Didn't he redshirt?
I don't care if he's redshirting or not. He could be in the state. I've said it about UConn a few times. I actually mean it about this team. There is not a team that is better than this Arizona team. So if they don't win a game, it's because they beat themselves. And I genuinely believe that.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think they are going to do it. I think they will beat themselves at some point. I have them out in the Sweet 16.
The one thing about Arizona-Houston is Arizona beats them in every component. Like they both play that slow-paced defensive game, and Arizona just has way more offense to work with. So I think a Houston-Arizona matchup in the championship is a deathly matchup for Houston, and I think it's a gold mine for Arizona. So if I am correct, I would be very surprised if Houston won that national championship game.
Yeah, so you got Arizona plus 350 on MGM. I have Houston plus 1,100. The other one I like, Iowa State, right behind Houston. It's 16-1. I'm thinking about sprinkling something on both of those. I like the value on both of them. I like their paths as well. Iowa State, I think they're auto Elite Eight, personally, until they at least have to run into Michigan, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. They have one of the easiest paths. Arizona also has an easy path to the Sweet 16.
Then it gets tough. Then it could get tough.
Then it gets, yeah.
You get Arkansas. You could get Purdue. You could get a hot BYU team. Everyone's counting out. I've counted out Gonzaga. I don't know why. I haven't watched much of them this year. They just don't seem like the same Gonzaga team. They still got Mark Few. They do have a couple pieces, but that's one of the 3 seeds I have going down pretty early. Who else are some of these? Give me a value pick. You got plus 350. Give me a value pick.
A value pick for a winner?
Yeah, national title. I said
for digging in deep, I really think the winner of that Wisconsin-Arkansas game could be a national championship.
You imagine Coach Cal wins one? Is this his 3rd year in Arkansas? Second, third?
Yeah, I want to say 3rd because he had the DJ Wagner year.
Yeah.
Or was that last year?
And then he got the kid from FAU. Who was the kid from FAU that transferred to Arkansas?
Big man?
Bald dude, point guard.
I don't know.
It's going to drive me nuts.
The light skin?
No. Let me see.
I have no idea.
Number one. What the fuck? The fuck was this kid's name? I'm looking through. John L. Davis. He went to Arkansas after
Oh,
that run with
yeah.
FAU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't think of that kid's name. He went to Arkansas. I think that was that last year? 24-25. No, that would have been 24-25 that he went to Arkansas. So yeah, he has been there for 3 years. Because I
No,
saw
that
the
was
video the other
24-25
day.
was last year.
24-25.
Because,
You're right.
but the year
This is
before, I think
25-26.
the year before, I think was DJ Wagner.
Let me see. Coaching. I want to verify how long he's been in Arkansas. Let's see.
No, last year was his first year.
Because I thought last year was his first year because he had
Because they had a
he
bad
got
year.
he got that kid from FAU. They didn't have a good year, and before the season, he was like, "You guys want to meet the team? There is no team."
There is no team. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Like that was one of the most iconic press conferences. I loved that
because they had a really bad start to the season, and they obviously, like, the team probably met each other 10 days before tip-off, and they ended up beating St.
Yeah.
John's.
Is that? Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, but
I think they were a
yeah,
10 seed.
that'd be awesome if mine works out the way it is. We get John Calipari in the Final Four. We get Rick Pitino in the Final Four, Kelvin Sampson back there, and then Dusty May up there in Michigan. 4 great coaches. I think the East is definitely the hardest. No one's going to argue with that one. Like I said, a couple easy paths that I like. If you want to sprinkle a couple futures, I don't know what Iowa State is to make it to the Elite Eight. I'm gonna pull that one up. Actually, that might be a good bet to take. Not a national champion, but let's see.
For who?
Iowa State to the Sweet 16 is minus 350, but Final Four is plus 300. It's not showing me
Yeah,
Elite Eight for them.
Because they have to get through Michigan.
That's not. Yeah, I if I can find them to get to the Elite Eight on like a, I guess it'd be like a mini future. I would definitely take that.
Yeah, you probably get like
But yeah,
minus 130 on those odds.
I don't know what was it. What did I say? Minus 350 plus 300. You think? I think it would just be like close to even money.
No, they would be minus for sure.
Would you say minus 130?
Yeah. What is it?
I think something like that. Yeah, I can't see. It's not showing me on MGM. It's showing me Final Four and Sweet 16. Unless do I need to scroll over? No. It would be right in the middle of the two. I would have to scroll over to see one of those two. No love for Florida. No love for Duke from either of us.
And I was so high on Florida too, but you're not going back to back. I don't think they have it. They're too beatable. I don't even have props right now, so I can't even help you.
Yeah. That's something we really want to look at on the card. We both have them there. That if we can get a good price on that, that'd be a fun little tournament future that we could post. If it's a good price. If it's like minus 180, I'm not taking it.
Dude, I mean, like minus 130 is a good price on that, though.
I know. That's what I say. I'm not taking it at minus 180. I think they're going to get there no matter what. Like I am playing Santa Clara. I have Virginia losing before they even deal with Iowa State. Iowa State over Tennessee, and they're in the fucking sweets. They're in the Elite Eight. It's not a hard path. It's probably the easiest path to the Elite Eight.
If it goes your way.
Yeah. If they don't run into Virginia, it's the easiest path.
Yeah, but
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not big on Virginia.
They did play Duke very well in that ACC championship game.
They did. Yeah. But yeah, I don't got anything else. You got anything else you want to touch on? We can touch on how our baseball team's a bunch of fucking losers if you want to after.
No, I'm just bought in on March Madness right now. So give me a few weeks and then we can buy into everything else.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, going to be a great tournament. We get underway. Stay tuned for all of our plays. We're going to be firing them all weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. HitTheBooks.pod on Instagram. HitTheBooks_pod on Twitter. We ended the conference tournaments on a hot streak. We're looking to carry it into Thursday of March Madness. Friday, carry it into the weekend. Keep things going. Thanks for listening. Give us a follow, like, share, subscribe. Like I said, HitTheBooks.pod on Instagram. HitTheBooks_pod on Twitter. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.